Women's Day is very, very important. It's a time to celebrate how much you have achieved so far in terms of the gender equality, but also to reflect on how much is left to be done by all the countries and also by the United Nations itself, working with the communities.
In reality, we still really need it, as we know gender inequality permeates many areas of our life, including labor markets, salaries. Women do disproportional work in the household, care economy. They don't have necessarily equal access to health.
The YIGA, including, for example, the issues related to land tenure. The second one relates to financial inclusion. The issues of, for example, providing the collateral when you are trying to open up a business as a female. And the third area is, of course, related to infrastructure. Women, for example, would need child care when they are going to formal employment.
It's a time to also understand that there is so much that women can contribute to economic development. We cannot develop without women. We cannot also improve our households without women, but we need to empower them. And you need to reflect on what is preventing the women, what is hindering the women to perform their full potential. Because there is quite a lot. And if we are very serious about the economic transformation on the continent in Africa, we need to empower women. We need to get women involved in the economic activities.
So for Southern Africa, I think the challenge that we have is implementation of policies on economic empowerment. The policies are there on paper. The real challenge is implementation of them. A quick example is a policy on financial inclusion, where we want women to be able to find, to access finances. Although on paper it's there, when you go to financial institutions, they don't have the policy instruments to translate that into what it is that the policy is asking. So there are already a lot of barriers that include collateral or financial literacy and so on, that there's a disconnect between the policy and the realization on the ground, and that is across the board in so many areas that you see the level of implementation is challenged.
Many women are employed in the informal sector, having to be engaged low-paid jobs in the informal economy. So therefore, we need to accelerate the transition from the informal to the formal economy. The measures that government have to be put in place must be gender sensitive. We need to promote economic diversification, create new sectors that can absorb women in the labor market. But these measures have to be gender sensitive, because women face specific barriers to enter the labor market and to become entrepreneurs. So we need gender sensitive policies tackling the barriers and the challenges that women face to enter the formal labor market.
Start with education. Focus should be mainly on skills that are relevant to the economy, because we hear so much about mismatches, which then puts women in very vulnerable jobs.
And that's why if you look at the work that we do as ECA, within the context of the economic and social development, in all aspects, from technology to macroeconomics to climate change, statistics, almost in all the areas, we need women. We cannot industrialize, we cannot grow our economies without women being at the forefront. And that's why this is a time to reflect on what else do we need to do to make sure that we can continue the journey of empowering women to participate fully in the socio-economic development.
When you look at the demographics, 50-50 split between the two genders. So it's very important that from the onset you adopt policies that promote gender equality.
I hope that actually one day we will not need special Women's Day, but in the meantime, every day should be Women's Day.